going on in this picture? Lulu?
Well, it looks like there's 2 actual Indian girls, and then there's one girl that doesn't look so Indian.
Okay, so Lauren mentioned that there's 2 girls that look like they're actual Indians, but one doesn't look as much Indian. Which one looks less to you?
The girl in the blue, because she looks like...
This blue or this blue?
That'd be a boy.
The middle one?
No.
This one over here?
Yeah.
In the royal blue. Okay. Because what?
Because they're not tan.
Okay, her skin's not as tan. All right, Tanner?
I can agree with her because the football team, the Chargers, he's wearing like a robe of that, and he's wearing a little suit under it. You can see up by his neck. It's like
This chair.
yeah.
So this suit right here, come on in quietly, girls. All right, so right here, what is it that looks like the Charger that you're mentioning?
That little brown thing that says 56 in that.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, that's the football team's sign.
Okay, so this here is the football team for the Chargers. That's the logo. Here, this chair right here. Wesley.
They also might have just been like in a race or something, because usually in races they usually have that number, like it says 267. They usually have like a number on them for races.
Okay, so Wesley thinks that they might have been in a race because he's noticing this number right here, the 267, so that's relating to what you saw with people that run in races. They have those same type of numbers. What more can we find? Madison?
It looks like they could have just been trick-or-treating because of the clothes they're wearing. It looks like they could be costumes.
Okay, so Madison's thinking that they could have just been trick-or-treating because these could be costumes. All right, what more can we find? What's going on in this picture? Wesley?
I think they might be trick-or-treating too, because well, usually the Native Americans would go back then be with the whites because it was like segregation.
Okay, so
And then nowadays they don't really wear those clothes, so I think that's back then.
okay, so Wesley thinks that he is agreeing that they could be trick-or-treating because he said that Native Americans don't usually wear this dress anymore because of segregation. Is that what that?
Blacks and whites usually didn't hang out together, so I think it's like nowadays right now.
Okay, so blacks and whites didn't hang out together,
And
so he thinks it's nowadays. And
if it was nowadays, they wouldn't really be wearing those.
okay, so if this was from current or modern times, they wouldn't be wearing these costumes. Tanner.
And well, agreeing with Wednesday, Native Americans were slaves too, so I kind of wanted to add along with it.
All right, so Tanner's adding on to the comment about segregation and slavery, that Native Americans also were slaves. Wesley,
I think they also could be Africans,
what do you see that makes you think they could be
because
Africans?
Africans were kind of darker skinned.
Because Africans were also darker skinned, so they could be Africans possibly. What more can we find? Tanner?
Kind of looks like a reunion of some friends or something, like that they haven't seen in a while.
Okay, so Tanner thinks that this could be a reunion of friends, possibly that they haven't seen in a long time. What do you see that makes you say that this could be a reunion?
Well, because they're all like hanging out and they're really close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because their body language, they're really close. All right, what more can we find? Wesley?
I agree with Tanner because trick-or-treating, they dress up in like way different costumes. Now police, sometimes they dress like up in like clothes like that.
Okay, so for trick-or-treating, they might be wearing different costumes, and for some parties or celebrations, they may be dressed in these clothes that are all similar.
So that they be.
For their beliefs, Wesley's saying that they could be dressed this way for their beliefs. All right.
It looks like on Halloween they did a race because of their costumes and because of that paper thing that was
Okay, the paper that's pinned on his arm, we're thinking could possibly be because of a race that was done on Halloween. So we're still linking back to that Halloween comments. Tanner.
They could very well be all Indians, but I think the one on the right with the red, I think he's actually sticking to the actual like tradition and not wearing like fancy and stuff, like sticking to the normal tradition like bandanas and stuff like that.
Okay, so Tanner mentioned that he thinks that they all could be Indians, all three of them, and this one over here on the right, he thinks he's more traditionally dressed for the Native American or Indian style with what he's wearing. They're not as fancy. Correct? Yes?
And that girl in the middle, she's putting her hands all the way around the two boys, and on her right hand, other one,
Her right would
I'm
be.
at our right.
Oh, you're right. Okay, over here.
She has like a plastic bracelet, and on our left hand, she looks like she has a ring.
Okay.
Like right there.
So he noticed her arms around and that she has jewelry on. This girl does a bracelet and a ring. Caleb.
I think they all might be related or relatives.
Relatives?
Yeah, relatives. Related to each other.
Okay. Caleb thinks that they all could be related. What do you see that makes you say they could be related?
Plus they're actually like going together trick-or-treating if it was trick-or-treating.
Okay, because they're going together. And if they were trick-or-treating, they would be doing that together. Lulu.
I think that the one girl in the middle is like trying to be a princess or something, because that's what she looks like.
Okay, so is this for the Halloween part? So if it's Halloween, she thinks that this girl here could be a princess. That's what she's dressed similar to. Chaz.
Two of them have braided hair. The girl in the middle, and I think that's a boy.
Okay, so Chaz noticed that they had braids. Two of them have braids. This girl in the middle here and what he thinks could be a boy right here also has braids. Madison.
I'm agreeing with Lulu that the girl in the middle is dressing up for Halloween like a princess, because normally if it was something else, like another like character, they usually don't dress like that unless if it's royalty.
Okay, so Madison's agreeing with Lulu that this girl would be dressed as a princess because it looks royal, her clothing. Tanner.
The one in the middle and the one to the left, they look like siblings because they look like they have similar faces and stuff, but the one on the farthest right, I think they could be like a cousin or someone.
Okay. Tanner thinks that these two possibly could be siblings because they have similar features, and this one over here would be a cousin. Jess.
The one on the left must be a Chargers fan.
All right. Chaz is also noticing that the one on the left over here must be a Chargers fan. Tanner made reference to that, I think, before you came in. So, all right. Madison?
In the background behind the girl and the boy with the braids, there looks like there is another adult. Looks like there's an adult in the background.
Okay. So Madison noticed here that the background, she thinks there could be another adult. What do you see that makes you think it could be an adult?
Because it's taller and bigger than them.
Okay.
And I can tell it's obviously a person because it looks like it's a shirt. A silhouette.
Okay. So she thinks it could be an adult because it's taller and it's bigger, and this has a shirt on also in the background. Wesley.
I think they might be trick-or-treating because And in modern times, because back then they didn't really have the Chargers team, and they're all wearing different things, so they're probably not like Indians, because they would usually all wear like the same kind of clothing, different costumes.
Okay, so Wesley mentioned that this, he thinks now is during modern times because they wouldn't have the Chargers logo back in the olden days, and he also thinks that they're trick-or-treating because their costumes, if it was for a ceremony, it would be the same and not different, and these ones are different.
We should get like an explanation for these.
Lulu would like an explanation for these pictures so we could know what was going on in them. So, all right, Madison?
I can also agree that it would be Halloween because usually when kids go trick-or-treating, it's dark outside and the background is dark.
So Madison's noticing the time of day, agreeing that it's trick-or-treating because usually during Halloween trick-or-treating, it's dark outside. Chaz?
Oh, I was gonna like say the same thing.
Okay, Chaz was also going to comment on the time of day.
In the background, if you kind of look on the boy's our right, his shoulder, our right shoulder, kind of looks green, kind of like looks like they're on grass, and behind that taller object, behind all of them, if you go to the right of it, kind of looks like someone's walking past or someone, like you can see the back of it, like right, like going into that, yeah, right there. That kind of looks like hair and a person, like the back of a person.
Okay, so Tanner thinks that right here, this could possibly be hair on the back of a person. Christopher?
It looks like it's from the person's shirt.
Oh, Christopher thinks that this part here is from the person that would be behind from their shirt. Madison?
I'm gonna guess that they're maybe watching fireworks on Halloween night because how often is it that bright just with a camera flash? Maybe it's a firework going on in the background too that provides that much light.
All right, so Madison thinks there might be fireworks going on Halloween night because she's noticing that the brightness of the image, and she doesn't think a flash on a camera would make it that bright for us to be able to see so clearly, so there might be some added light from fireworks. What more can we find? Madison?
There are feathers on the boys' costumes, like feathers coming out of the bandanas.
All right.
Both of them.
Oh, on both the boys, there's feathers coming out of the bandanas. What's going on in this picture? What more can we find, Madison?
I'm guessing that this might be in Africa
What do you see that makes you think this is in Africa?
because of the color of the children's skin and just the way how their costumes are. Usually if we wanted like a Chargers costume, like we would have like a real jersey, but maybe since Africans don't have that much money, maybe they just kind of threw together their own costumes and kind of made them.
Okay, so Madison thinks that this could be taking place in Africa, and for Halloween in Africa, she thinks that they might have made their own costumes, because if we wanted a Chargers costume for Halloween here, we would go buy a jersey and a costume to wear for Halloween, where here they look like their costumes could be homemade. Wesley?
I don't think that's in Africa because I don't really think Africa would have Halloween for a celebration.
All right, Wesley's disagreeing because he does not think that in Africa they would celebrate Halloween.
Because they usually just, people like Indians and stuff like that, usually just don't like celebrate for like fun usually.
Okay, so he says that because from his knowledge, Indians do not celebrate just for fun.